My name is Bedros Keuilian, not Pedro, not Bedro, not bed of roses. I've been called it all, just Bedros. Thank you, first of all, for having me here, and I want to thank Peter for putting this event on for you guys, and I'll tell you why. I've had the pleasure of working with Peter, coaching him, the last 3 years, and to see how quickly and efficiently he's grown his practice has blown me away. And funny how the mentor takes away and learns so much from the student in this case. And he's a man of incredible efficiency and time management. And you all are lucky, to say the very least, to be here to learn from him and model your businesses after him. So all of us in here, well, all of you in here, practice some form of functional medicine, correct? Yes? Put your hands up if you do. Good. All right, fantastic. So let me tell you who I am, because it's important to know why I'm here to help you. So at the age of 6, in 1980, my father decided that we're going to defect communist Russia. And I did not know this. When you're the little guy in the family, you don't get the note. You just one day realize that you're on a train going to Moscow. From Moscow, we took a flight to Italy. From Italy, went to the American embassy. And my father said, hey, I'm a former communist. I don't want to be a communist. We want freedom. How do we get into America? And in June of 1980, we legally entered the United States. I say legally because my father stresses that point over and over again to me. He sees a tremendous value in doing something legally, ethically, and he's transferred that value over to me. And so you could imagine a family of 5, myself being the youngest. We come to America, and by the way, they don't let you bring anything. Not that we had much, but it was literally 2 suitcases and $86, my father says. And back then, there was apartments that could easily say, no kids allowed, under 12, under 18, under 15, whatever. And of course, ironically, those were the apartment complexes that were also the cheapest to rent. And so my mom and dad would sneak me into the apartment complex until 3 months go by, and we'd get kicked out and off to the next complex. And so I moved around a lot. I've been to 3 elementary schools, 2 junior highs, and 2 high schools. And so in that time, little did I know, I was being conditioned to make friends quickly and build rapport, because you never know when you're going to move again, which later helped out in this part of my life. My father decided to start up a little tailor shop in Anaheim, California, after being in the country for 3 years, working multiple jobs, etc. We were poor and broke, I should tell you that. Poor is a mindset. I mean, so poor that our first and second apartment, there was just 1 mattress that my mom and dad had found in the garbage can in a 1-bedroom apartment, family of 5. Mom and dad got the bedroom. Myself and my older sister and brother kind of took the living room, and that was it. Poor is a mindset. Broke is somewhere I might end up again, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a risk taker. I might decide to invest $10 million in an emerging business idea and lose it. And I'm okay with that because I can bounce back from broke. It's hard to bounce back from poor because it's a mindset of negativity, of lack, of never having enough. And sadly, my mom and dad, in the earlier years, kind of fostered that mindset within us. There's never enough, and we just don't have enough. There's never enough food. My dad's throwing me in the back of the dumpsters behind the grocery store so that we can find food that was expired but not rotten to eat. Right? You can imagine what effect that has on you with your relationship of money. And so the first thing I can tell you here and now is money is not evil. Having money solves one of the biggest problems that we all have, which is the problem of not having any money. Right? Believe me, I love having money now. And I say that, and I don't want to sound like my greed glands are secreting, because I'm also a big believer in giving back, and the particular charity that I'm a big fan of, and if you ever want to support them, you're more than welcome to, Shriners Hospitals for Children. Great charity. And my only mission in life is that when I die, I'll have donated more money to Shriners than Justin Timberlake has. The reason for that is he is currently the #1 contributor to Shriners. Of course, he doesn't know we're racing, because if he did, he'd really blow me out of the water. But that truly is my #1 mission. Now, how do I get there? I just help more people, right? You're not fitness professionals. My market is fitness professionals. However, you're a friend of a friend. You're Peter's clients and customers, and I'm here to help, because the more value I add to society, the more money I make. That's just how it is. That's how the universe works. You know, money is a direct correlation to the amount of value that you add to the world. And you should know that. If you try and make money, you'll never make money. If you try and add value to people's lives, solve problems, give without expectation, you'll have more money than you know what to do with. You don't know why that is. It's just that way. And so today I say my relationship with money is different. It's not lacking. Magically, I attract money. And money is a vehicle to freedom. That I can come here, drive the whopping 20 minutes from my house here and speak to you and go home, play with my beautiful kids. I'll take tomorrow and maybe Monday off and slide into the office, our headquarters in Chino Hills, on Tuesday. Because today to me is a work day. And so money is that vehicle to freedom. And as Peter said, and I want to re-impress this on you, you're no longer a local business, you're a global business. And no matter how small your community, 10,000 or 100,000 residents, the affluent are there. There's someone driving a BMW, a Bentley, a Mercedes. Someone's wearing a Rolex, right? Those are your patients, the affluent. So the people there in your community are your patients, but the people on the internet globally are also your patients. So please don't lose sight of that. Now, these days I'm no longer that poor kid. Like Peter said, we started Fit Body Boot Camp in 2009 at the worst possible economy ever, right? 2008, the world goes to hell with the economy. 2009, I get a harebrained idea. I'm going to start this franchise called Fit Body Boot Camp. Now, until then, the previous 8 years, I was, and I still am, coaching and consulting personal trainers. Jillian Michaels is one of my coaching clients. Michael O'Hearn, better known as Titan from the American Gladiators, if you watch American Gladiators, one of my coaching clients. Ronnie Coleman. And actually these days, even Randy Couture, and I just made a reality show with Randy Couture, UFC Hall of Fame fighter. He was also just in this movie, filmed a movie with Sylvester Stallone, Expendables. They just were filming number 3. He's also a coaching client. He's got a gym in Las Vegas. It's struggling. He asked for help. We're helping him out, and it's doing well. Ironically, we ended up filming a reality show together, which will air in this spring on Spike TV. Now, why do I tell you all this? To impress you? No, to impress upon you that if I can come from a communist country, be poor and broke, find a way to serve society in a tight niche, and in my case, the niche is the fitness industry, because I was a fat kid and working out changed my life, and all I wanted to do was help other people change their lives. If I can do that, you can do that. Because I was also the kid who was on Ritalin, and I was on some other drug that made me all doped up, couldn't function, and so I don't take the Ritalin, and I don't take any other of the medication that they prescribe for ADD. Quite frankly, I can control it better with diet, proper sleep, exercise, and I believe I've got an advantage with my ADD. I'm more creative. I can come up with out-of-the-box solutions for problems that other people see no solutions for. So I'm really thankful and blessed for being poor and broke, for having ADD, for having my mom wash my hair as a 7-year-old kid with gasoline that my father siphoned out of the Ford because I had lice and we couldn't afford the treatment for the lice. I'm so thankful for that because I can appreciate my life, my money, the freedom that I have today more had I not had that. People go, Bedros, you're foolish. No, I'm not. I'm really thankful for that. Every single event that happened throughout my life, when my dad would hoist me into the dumpsters behind the grocery stores, forged me into who I am today. And I believe it's my purpose to speak to the masses, small business owners, especially those who can help people. We have a lot in common. I train people physically and coach them through their nutrition. You do the same through functional medication, or functional medicine, we should say. So what I want to talk to you about is giving you a 30% boost in your income. Who'd like that? Raise your hand. Now, who believes that that's possible within the next 60 days to get a 30% boost in your income? Raise your hand. Good. How many ways are there to increase your income? Throw out a number. 3. Exactly. Only 3. And so if we can take these 3 ways and increase them by just 10%, you are making 30% more money in your business. Those 3 ways, get ready to write them down, are to attract more patients. Right? So market better. If right now you get 100 leads into your funnel, what if you got 110 leads into your funnel? Just 10% more each month, right? If you get 1,000 leads a year, what if you got 1,100 leads a year? Just 10% more. The other way is to increase the cost per transaction with each new patient, just by 10%. Average patient spends $100 with you. Now they're going to spend $110, right? I'm not asking you to double your rates, not just yet. You will. Peter certainly did, and did again, and yet again when I asked him to. And each time he does, he becomes more and more and more in high demand. And the third and final way is to get each of your patients to increase the frequency in which they purchase services from you, right? So in my business, Fit Body Bootcamp, not only did I start the franchise, but I own locations myself. My newest location in Ontario, California here, just a month and a half old, 3,000 square foot location. My newest location, we have a feeling it's going to be like all 318 locations. 10-month stick rate. So when a client comes on board, they pay us $197 a month. They usually stay on board for 10 months. All I want to do is add one more month to that, to the average lifetime value of my client. And so in your case, if your patient sees you 3 times a year, what can you do to get them to see you one more time? If they buy 3 bottles of X supplement from you, what do you do to increase that by 10%, right? And by increasing those 3 areas just by 10%, you will make 30% more money. Does anyone have any questions about that before we go on? Raise your hand if you think it's not possible to do that. Good, so I won't kick anybody out of the room. So what we want to talk about here is one of my favorite words of all. System. To me, system is an acronym. Save yourself time, effort, and money. Write that down if you don't know it. System is an acronym. Save yourself time, effort, and money. When you have systems in your business, you have a predictable, reliable business that has legs. Bedros, what the hell is a business that has legs? A business that has legs, I define it this way. 1, you can be here but still be making money. You could be traveling on a cruise in Maui, wherever, and still be making money. Number 2, the business can be sold, right? Sooner or later, we're all going to get old, and we're either going to retire or die. Now, the two options that people have is to either shut down their business, which is what 98% of small businesses do, because it is a self-driven business. They are it, right? Not me, I can fall off the face of the earth. We've got an operations officer who runs our corporate office, sales team that keeps selling more franchise locations. I could fall off the face of the earth, the business will keep going. And you want that because ultimately you're either going to sell your business or shut it down. And you want to be part of that 3 or 4% that sell your business, right? Before I started the franchise, I owned 5 personal training gyms in San Diego, small little boutique gyms. Thankfully, one of my clients, who was also one of my first mentors, Jim Franco, a 65-year-old man who literally had the energy of a 25-year-old young man, said, "Kid, you're a one-person show. What gives?" Well, I love training people. I'll train people day and night. Plan on getting married? Well, yeah, Jim, of course I do. Plan on having kids? Of course. Plan on having a house? Yeah. Plan on getting sick? Yeah. Plan on going on vacations? Yes, I do. You're going to need to replicate yourself. How do I do that? Get staff, get a team, scale yourself. He loaned me half of the money to open up my first location. I opened up the other 4 on my own within the next 2.5 years. Just boutique personal training gyms. I had 65 personal trainers total working for me. Each location had 2 managers and 1 phone girl. The phone girl's job was to dial for dollars, to call people throughout the community by using our marketing systems. Leads and phone numbers would come in. She would dial for dollars, set an appointment up with the managers of the facility. The managers would sell the person on a 12-month contract because Jim told me, stop selling blocks of 5, 10, or 15 sessions at a time. Because as a trainer, and you might relate to this, you have to keep coming back to that client. You go, Mrs. Jones or Mr. Jones, you're out of sessions. Would you like to buy more? Right? It's an awkward conversation. He says, look, I need to work out the rest of my life. Just bill me month after month, forever. Done. I'll do it. So I used the gym model, right? Your gym membership is just always being taken out of your credit card. So we started to do the same thing with $400 and $800 payments. People didn't bat an eye. Why? We'd already established ourselves as the best in community. I pumped out social proof, testimonials, like it was nobody's business. Our transformation pictures weren't just someone who lost 9 pounds or 12 pounds, 30, 40, 50, 108 pounds. I mean, people were just swimming in the jeans that they used to wear. And those were the transformation pictures. We quickly became that place that when all else fails, pay more and go to that place and get the results. I sold my business, and it was such a big payout for me. I had never seen that kind of money, multiple 6 figures for me. That was big. Wasn't even 30 at the time, right? So I realized quickly that I've got to scale myself through staff and through systems so that I can get sick, go on vacation, get married, have kids, fall off the face of the earth, and the business continues to add value, and the value continues to attract money. And by doing that, and creating a reliable business that has receivables scheduled to come in, now you might be saying, wait a minute, I can't put my clients on EFT, I can't put them on a 12 or 6 month contract. I say BS, I can walk to any one of your locations. How often do you guys need to see a patient, on average, to keep me healthy and functioning? Once a month. Okay. Do you call them to remind them, hey, you ought to schedule a time to come in? It's been a month since our last visit. You pre-book them. Good. Do you pre-charge them? What if you did for the next 12 months? Do you think that your, what we call stick rate in my business, the rate at which they would come in, the frequency would increase if they paid for it the month before? Of course it would. Wouldn't you feel great starting out each month knowing that I've got 150 patients who are all scheduled to pay me $380 this month? Like if no new patients come in, I've got 150 people scheduled to pay me $350 this month. And next month. And the next month after that. That's building a business with legs. And you can only do that when you have systems in place. Systems for marketing, lead generation, sales systems, referral generation systems, reactivation systems. I have clients, you have patients, they quit, they leave, they go away. Life happens. Maybe it's money. Maybe they're in a bad place in life right now and just can't come in. They'd rather eat that Pizza Hut pizza than talk to you about living a healthier life. That doesn't mean they're going to be in that bad place financially or physically or mentally or emotionally. And if you can keep your message in front of them through a reactivation system, then you will gain that client or patient back when the divorce is over, the husband or wife's found the job, and they've dropped the pizza slice and are ready to change their life again. The problem is we just go, well, that's fine, they're gone. That person is 4 times more likely to come back than for you to get a new person and convince them to come into your business. So what do? Let me give you some examples. Our reactivation system, because you probably have patients that leave, right? We have an email system for the next 48 days. Not quite 2 months. And we found that if we can't get you back in the next 48 days, we've pretty much lost you for life in our business. I don't know what that number is for you. What I would venture is if you just created a 60-day funnel, every 3 days, so in other words, if you, sir, were to leave my practice today, I would take your email and add you to an autoresponder sequence, and the guys from Infusionsoft who are going to speak will teach you exactly how you do that. You just move that email address from this bucket to that bucket, and now you're on an autoresponder sequence for the next 60 days where I pretty much give you content, educate you on what you're missing out on, and periodically ask you to come back by making irresistible offers. An email every 3 to 4 days for 60 days that, hey, you've left, but we haven't forgotten you. I hope things are great. I know life gets in the way sometimes. Whatever it is, we're here to listen. If you want to just call and let us know what's going on, here's our number. Or feel free to reply to this email. Right? Content, education, reaching out. Because they've already experienced your service. They know you're valuable. It's just right now they're in a place in life where the priorities have shifted. But as we all do, priorities come back. Human nature. So you've got to have a reactivation system. And that's just remotely, via email. We also do that for the 48 days, every 12 days, via a postcard. We use a system called Send-Out Cards. You can just go to sendoutcards.com. I think you might have to sign up under an affiliate or something. Maybe Peter's an affiliate. I don't know. You just go to sendoutcards.com, and you could literally download a sheet where they copy your handwriting, right? You write the alphabet, send it in to them. Now they can, with blue ink, in your handwriting, get a card sent to them. You just type in the message, send, first-class stamp. Hey, we miss you. Where are you? What gives? If there's anything we can do to help, here's a way to get in contact with us. Who else is sending them a postcard every 12 days and content and appreciation emails every 3 to 4 days? Nobody else. And don't be fooled. I'm not saying more than half are going to come back. Reactivation, you are lucky if you get 20% of the people back. But in my business, 20%, if I've been open for a year, I might have 300 clients, right, who have tried a program out and quit at some point. I'll take 20% of them back any day. They're easier to close. They've already tried the program. So that's just the reactivation process. Now, what about the referral generation process? Again, very similar businesses. People see a transformational outcome with what you do, right? They feel better, they sleep better, they think and process better, they might lose weight, lose the bloat, lose the pain. So in our business, the system for referral generation is, Mrs. Jones, welcome aboard. As we help you lose weight and inches and get in the best shape of your life, can we count on you to help us get what we want, which is to refer us to your friends, family, and coworkers. So we're creating right away, when the person signs up with us, a condition of doing business. If I help you X, Y, and Z. So when your patient comes in and they go, this hurts, that's bloated, and this doesn't think right. All right, sign here, you're on board. Now as we fix that, take away the pain, and take away the bloat, can we count on you to give us what we want from you? Which is the greatest compliment you could ever give us? To refer your friends, family, and coworkers? You shake hands and they say yes. That's a verbal commitment. A condition of doing business has been set. Now you're not going to say, well then go and give me your clients. Now you're going to deliver on the promise that you just made. Give them the transformational results. Now, the faster, the sooner you can give that, the better. Right? If you can give that in a week, awesome. 2 weeks, okay. A month, not bad. Once you've given them the transformational results, where you know they can quantify the results that they've gotten from you, what do? Handwritten thank you card from sendoutcards.com. Or just handwrite them. I used to have my assistant handwrite them all the time. It's just now we've grown so much, we just use send out cards. I mean, if someone looks real close, I'm going, hey, wait a minute, that's not real blue ink. That's been typed. Nobody cares. It's not a big deal. But a card goes out to them, say, hey, Mrs. Jones, looking at your evaluation, we see that you've lost 6 inches this month and 4% body fat. And gosh, you're doing more push-ups and more body weight squats, which are the 2 core ways that we measure strength. So impressive. Congratulations on that. Here's a $5 gift card to Starbucks. I'll explain this whole process in a minute. Oh, by the way, here's 3 $100 gift cards for you to pass out to friends, family, and coworkers who you feel could benefit from the same results that you've gotten. 1, they're getting a letter of appreciation. By the way, all of you should write this down. Read the book Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. He talks about the 6 weapons of influence. One of them is reciprocity. So when I send you a handwritten thank you card and give you a $5 gift card, you now I've got reciprocity built, right? You have this need to reciprocate. And then when I include 3 plastic gift cards, by the way, they just have a fake magnetic strip on the back, and it says Fit Body Boot Camp, and it's raised lettering. You can just look up plastic gift cards. It's not even, you don't have to activate it. But you just tell them, like, here's 3 plastic gift cards, magnetic strip on the back. I've loaded each of these with $100 of service. Now remember, my program is $197. I'm willing to give their referral 50% off, right? So I'm not going to give them $100 worth of free service. I'm going to say, fantastic, our program is $197. Since your friend gave you this gift card, it takes off $100. Your first month is $97. If you like what we do, continue on and get the amazing results at $197 a month. That's it. Now what do I do? When that client comes in, the client who got the results, they go, gosh, thank you for the handwritten note. Thank you for the Starbucks gift card. No problem, you're welcome. By the way, who are the 3 people that you're going to give those to? Another system. The old, oh, by the way close, right? Why is that important? Because we've all done this. You get something in the mail, you have every good intention to pass it out to your friends, family, coworkers, but then life gets in the way, and those damn plastic gift cards end up in the car seat, in the couch, eaten, thrown away, God knows what. They have every intention to help you with your business, but life gets in the way. So it's my job, actually, my call girl's job, to say, by the way, who are the 3 people that you're going to give those gift cards to? This way we can just be proactive, call them, and activate that for them. Whether they gave the gift cards or not, it doesn't matter. Now I just got an active referral. Hi, is this Bob? Yeah. Well, Bob, Susan is a patient of mine, and I'd given her a gift card for $100, and this is what we do. She said she's going to give you that card, and I'm just calling to activate that and get you in here for your first workout. We're Fit Body Boot Camp. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. And oh, by the way, there's never any pressure to buy anything. Because there isn't. There isn't. We'll give them their first 3 workouts for free, and then apply the $100 gift card towards their first month. Simple as that. That's how you get a systematic referral generation process. Now, you've got your Infusionsoft. You should have a 28-day or a 48-day or a 108-day, whatever. It's got to be tested. I'm sure Peter knows the answers for your industry. In my industry, we get our best referrals within the first 28 days. If I can get a referral from you in your first 28 days, I can get a referral from you the entire lifetime that you're doing business with me. That's the metrics in my business. So then, in addition to the handwritten thank you card, with the Starbucks gift card for them and the 3 gift cards for their friends, family, coworkers, they're also getting, because remember they're a client, so they're on my 28-day referral generation email sequence. Every 2 days, they get awesome pumper-upper emails, a case study from a client who's lost a lot of weight. Think about it, they started, they're sore, they're unsure about coming to our gym and working out. Then they get a case study about Mrs. Jones, who's a stay-at-home mom. She tried everything from Zumba to the diet pills to the gadget that she bought from the infomercial. Nothing worked. All of a sudden, she joined Fit Body Boot Camp. First 60 days, lost 22 pounds. Now, we know that our avatar is 82% female. So that story of Mrs. Jones, that case study that we sent out, they're going to go, gosh, I could relate to that person, right? Who is your avatar? You should know who your avatar is. Are they male or female? What is the age range? And when you send out a case study email, which is just a blown-up testimonial, right? They go, gosh, all right, it's been a week. I'm sore. I see that Susan in this case study was sore the first week. She actually gained 2 pounds. In our business, people actually gain weight because as soon as you do a little weight training your first couple days, the muscles get what? Inflamed and start holding water. We tell the clients never, ever, 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 ever in your first week, jump on the scale. That apparently translates to get on the scale as often as you can, as soon as you can. So what do? We tell them in that very first email that Susan first gained a couple pounds. It's water weight because of the inflammation in the muscles, and then she immediately dropped it by day 9. Now when they're panicking, they go, oh, got it. That'll be me, right? I alleviate a problem. I alleviate the potential of that person quitting. I'm putting social proof in front of them, letting them know that Susan's been on board so many months now. What am I doing? I'm conditioning that patient or client to stay longer. The very next email, the second email in our autoresponder sequence for the referral generation sequence is my favorite. Subject line, do you drink Starbucks? Comma, avoid these 5 deadly drinks. Now, who's not going to open that? And we all drink Starbucks. And it's like, hey, this is Bedros, and I know you're probably like me, you drink Starbucks. So I did the research for you. I went to the Starbucks website, and here's the 5 highest calorie, highest sugar drinks that they have. If you drink those, stop now. Oh, by the way, I'm a realist. I drink Starbucks. I'm not telling you to quit Starbucks. I'm just saying if you're going to have Starbucks, here's the 5 lowest calorie, lowest sugar drinks you ought to have from Starbucks. That one email that we send gets the most thank you responses. Whether they follow it or not, I don't know, right? We're all habitual. We all want that Frappuccino upside down with the thing, with the latte at kid temperature. I get that. But the fact is we added value to their life. The third email is we put social proof in front of them. We told them what not to drink and what to drink at Starbucks. And the third one is, hey, by now you should have lost a few pounds and some body fat percentages. I don't believe in spending a lot of money to market, which is why I'm able to keep my prices low, even though we're one of the highest charging people. But you can just say that. Hey, it's lower than $397. $197 is definitely lower than $397, and I will raise their rates if I have to spend a lot of marketing dollars, right? So I say, hey, we don't believe in spending a lot of marketing dollars and advertising dollars, and that's why we're able to keep our rates low to work with a personal trainer. However, we're able to do that because good people like you refer their friends, family, and coworkers. So if you can just reply to this email and let me know of 3 friends, family, coworkers, their name, email address, and phone number, I'd love to reach out to them and give them a free week to come try us out, no pressure at all. About 15, 20% of the time, that third email gets us 1 or 2 leads. It's not bad. Now the name of the game is consistency, frequency, do it for a longer period of time, keep asking. The postcards are going in the mail, right? The emails are going out to them. I've already set the condition of doing business with them from the get-go. And we have a third referral generation system in my business, which I know you guys can do it too. And that's contests. We have referral generation contests. Now, everything I'm talking about, Peter can give you scripts, processes, and the details where you can just plug and play. You don't have to sit there and type the emails. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The fact of the matter is, when I write these emails, I'm an amazing copywriter. I spend my time learning the art of selling and persuasion these days, because I write our email promotions and our thank you card content for our franchisees. I can get anybody to do anything in print. You need to be able to get that good. It's not going to happen overnight. But just like Peter bought speed when he joined my coaching program, you can buy speed and get the answers where he'll just give you the Word docs that you can cut and paste and put your phone number in and load up when you join his coaching program. I'm pretty sure he's going to be offering that to you. If he's not, you're out of luck. If he does offer a coaching program, get on board. And on a side note, a caveat, one of the greatest things you could do is have a mentor in the niche or the field that you're in. Jim Franco was my first mentor. I didn't even know it. Turns out as a trainer, all your clients are great mentors because they're usually people who are making a ton of money. They're in business, so they can afford your $400 to $800 a month, right? He was just the only one who actually started to coach me along. I was like, holy crap. Since then, I've hired Dan Kennedy as a coach, Joe Polish as a coach, Tony Robbins is a business coach or more of a mindset coach, right? I love education. I love being coached. I don't want to learn myself. You've been there. Give me the shortcut. You've been there. Give me the shortcut. It's as simple as that, right? I don't want to have to go and connect the dots, waste of time, money, and energy. You've been there. Just, I'll pay for speed, and I'll pay for profit. So consider that. So let's talk about money-making systems. So we've gone from reactivation to getting referrals, right? I told you we have contests, and you're probably going to run contests. Our contests are pretty simple. We'll get an iPad. We'll put a bow on it. We'll hang it up in our fitness boot camp. And there's a marker board right below it with every client's name down the side. And it says, in the next week, whoever gives us the most referrals that we end up converting into paying clients wins the old iPad. And for every referral that you give us who converts into a client, we'll give you half off your next month. Greed glands begin to secrete, which means what? One person's going to win the iPad, but everybody has the opportunity to get at least a month, maybe two, at half off, because if you referred 10 people to me this week, I'm likely to close 2 or 3 of them, right? We call that the ambassador contest. All that means is the person who sent us the most leads, they are now our fitness ambassador for that month. Ta-da! Right? You're welcome to swipe that from me and use it. Have an ambassador contest. Who's your ambassador, right? Is this all making sense to you? Can you see how you can make 30% more money immediately? 60 days, I'm being conservative, giving you guys plenty of time. You can do this like in 7 days. Sell more, sell better, sell more frequently, and get more leads into your funnel. Ah, but Bedros, we're talking about selling and marketing. I'm a functional medicine specialist, damn you. Look, man, I'm a personal trainer. All I wanted to do was help other people not be fat, because the only reason I got into this industry is in 11th grade, I knew prom was coming up in 12th grade. And Nakaya was who I wanted to take to prom. She wasn't super hot, but she was cute. She's not in here, so I can say that. She had real good energy about her. But I was this fat kid. And all I knew is I need to get in shape so that I can ask her out to the prom, and then she would say yes. So I took the whole year and lost 26 pounds. Came senior year, I never had the confidence to ask Nakaya to the prom, so I did not make it to the prom. I heard later that Nakaya didn't go either. I'm an idiot. I should have had the confidence to ask, as it turns out. It's the story of my life, though. Yeah. Anyways, so once I lost that weight and I saw how losing that weight built my confidence, took away insecurities, I was like, holy shit, this is what I want to do. Now, I was a college dropout. I went to college so I can get my exercise science and physiology degree, and I realized that I think and operate differently, and I didn't fit into the norm. And so I dropped out, went and got certified, and became a personal trainer. Had 3 clients, 2 of which my mom referred to me. 3 clients don't necessarily pay all the bills. So I got a job at Disneyland. That's awesome. I worked at Disneyland for 6 years in my early 20s, right? No better place will you learn customer service experience than at Disneyland. There's a book out called Customer Service the Disney Way. All of you should buy it and read it, and then have your front office staff read it. It is amazing. Till this day, when someone asks me where's something, I still point with 3 fingers, right? I see a little kid, I drop down to one knee to talk to him. That's what they teach us. You're not a customer, you're a guest, right? You're a guest. At Disney, we had offstage and onstage. Like, I was a fry cook, man. I was a busman when I started. Then I became a fry cook. But when you're on stage, meaning the guests can see you, I can't have like bacon and ketchup grease on me. I've got to either wear an apron or have another chef outfit to switch out of just so I can cross Main Street and go take my break. Because the magic always continues for the guest, even though I'm working and going on my 15-minute break, which takes me, by the way, 6.5 minutes to go across Main Street and 6.5 minutes to come back, right? That's it. No better place will you learn customer service skills than Disney, and you can all learn that from that book. So, Disney was funding my passion for training people, but not enough. I'm the youngest. I've got an older brother or sister. They have a lot of kids. They pop out babies like rabbits. When the holidays come, I can't afford to buy them all the shit I want to buy them. So I got a job as a bouncer because Disneyland has a high population of gay employees, which might be why they're so happy. One of my coworkers, an awesome guy named Brian, said, hey, there's this gay nightclub off the 5 freeway. You'd make a great bouncer there. And they pay more than other clubs do, but he didn't tell me why. Now, I knew it was a gay nightclub, and I was okay working as a bouncer there. I just need more money, and so Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. So I train clients Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right, in the daytimes. And then I work in the evenings at Disneyland, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I work at the gay bar as a bouncer. That's cool. The first week, everyone got the picture that I'm no longer gay. Right? They just assume that you're gay when you're at a gay bar, which I find the conversation was had. Everything was cool. However, the reason they pay you more at a gay bar than at a straight bar is because what they don't tell you is every night the skinheads come and wait in the parking lot to gay bash. And it's our job to make sure that no one gets gay bashed, otherwise the club closes down. Now, I'm a big guy, but I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I'd rather talk you out of kicking my ass than actually fighting you. I'm a closer, I like to sell. Right? So I could talk my way out of a fight. So the year and a half at the gay club there wasn't the most exciting. But the pain was great enough for me to ask Jim Franco, what else do I need to do to build my business? I got to get the fuck out of this gay club, and I got to get out of Disneyland. I'm tired of being a fry cook. Right? I mean, there's no cop who's also a fry cook. There's no nurse or a doctor who's also a something else. But in our fitness industry, you're a personal trainer and something else. I don't know if that works when you start out as a functional medicine specialist or not, but that's how it is for us. And the pain was great enough for me to ask for help. So he handed me Brian Tracy tapes. When I was done with that, Brian Tracy led to Tom Hopkins. Tom Hopkins led to Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar led to Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy led to Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham led to Tony Robbins. And holy shit, did I see a whole new world. I am a personal trainer. I want to help you get in the best shape of your life. But I realized for me to transfer those feelings, not everyone's excited about working out. You have to wake up early. You have to be sore. You might even have to eat right. I have to be able to sell and market. So as reluctant as I was, I got good at it, great at it, amazing at it. 5 locations. Built them up and sold them. Today I coach and consult thousands of personal trainers worldwide, over 100,000 fitness professionals on my email list. I've got a fan page bigger than Gary Vaynerchuk's. Who's Gary Vaynerchuk? A close personal friend of mine who wrote a book called Crush It. And the book is all about how to build social media traffic. Yet the guy that markets to personal trainers has more fans, 40,000 fans on my fan page versus 35,000 on his fan page. So I always rub that in. My point is, I love this industry. And you guys are part of that industry where we change lives because we're fighting Doritos and pizza and sedentary life. I met a guy from Doritos long ago. He no longer worked for Doritos, and he shared something with me. They're scientists. They're scientists. Figure out a way to have that little triangular chip break down in a fashion in your mouth where it stimulates different parts of your senses and taste buds. It's chemically built that way to break down in a specific way to get you to want to eat another Dorito. I was impressed by that. I was saddened by that as a personal trainer, but I was impressed by the marketing, because the faster that bag is emptied, the faster you go and buy more Doritos, right? I was also fortunate enough to have a good friend who worked for Coca-Cola when they created the fridge packs. Remember those? The long fridge packs with the 12 or 16 or 24 cap things in there? He says, anytime you call something new and improved, you get 20% more sales. And that's the only reason they went to the fridge pack and then went to the cube. You guys remember that? Trident went from the one thing to the other thing, right? Because then he later went to Trident, and he'd tell me, everything that's new and improved increases by 20%. So, how can you new and improve your programs? Look, we at the end of the day at Fit Body Bootcamp offer personal training in a group setting. That's it. So I brought the cost of personal training down from $800 or $300 a month, depending on if you're coming once or 4 times a week, or 2, 3, 4, down to $197 because it's in a group setting. However, I also realized we can't just call it personal training or boot camps. So we have the 14-day fat furnace program. We've got the 21-day rapid fat loss program, 28-day flat belly program, 16-day sexy slim down, right? And I can go on and on and on. Because when we send out our promotions, our email broadcasts, when we run our Facebook ads, we're not promoting Fit Body Bootcamp. We're promoting the 14-day Fat Furnace program. We get people in on a low barrier offer. All of you write this down. You should all have a low barrier offer. Peter will help you build one because I helped him build several. A low barrier offer is an offer, now for my industry, is an offer that's under $100 and under 30 days. See, everyone knows that personal training is expensive and you have to go for a long period of time, and that's the number 1 and 2 objection that they have, time and money. So how do I overcome the number 1 and 2 objection in my industry? Look, it's only $67, and it's 14 days. Come try us out. You're going to lose about 6 to 12 pounds in those 14 days, have more energy, lose a few inches. If you feel good about that, then I'll let you know what our programs are all about. I'm not selling the big program right away. I'm just saying, here, try this, right? The cocaine dealer that says, here, it's a free toot on the house. I watched this documentary called Cocaine Cowboys. It's an amazing documentary of how Miami came to be. Highly recommend watching it. But they were literally giving away cocaine like candy in Miami back in the day to get people hooked. Awful. Awful. And that's the model. So let's talk about your marketing systems. Now, myself, I spend $28,000 a month on Facebook to get leads. $28,000 a month on Facebook to get leads. While I'm a big fan of free traffic, I've got hundreds of YouTube videos that'll pop up for all my keywords. Fitness marketing, personal trainer marketing, starting a fitness business, how to sell personal training. I got 108 keywords, and I've got literally hundreds of videos on YouTube that'll pop up for my keywords. That's free traffic. I'll take it. But if you can master buying a lead for $1 and getting $2 back from him or her, you, my friend, are building legs in your business. Because you don't know when Google is going to shut off the Google funnel or change the algorithm and your website or blog is no longer in first place. So I'm a big believer in having multiple poles in the water. Does that make sense? So we have a system. And what is our system? Very much like Peter described on Facebook. And we do this for our individual locations. So I spend $28,000 a month to get new Fit Body Bootcamp owners on board, to get more personal trainers into my funnel. And when I first get personal trainers into my funnel, first I teach them how to grow their current personal training business or bootcamp they have, their own brand, right? I take their pain away immediately. Now we have this know, like, trust factor. I've saved divorces from happening, homes from being lost, cars from being repossessed, and they send me those emails. Wow, holy crap. I go, you know what? You might be a good fit for Fit Body Bootcamp. Here, watch this video. Then they pay $10,000, get on board with Fit Body Bootcamp, pay $500 a month in our franchise fees, and we grow. We change their lives, and they help us achieve our 2020 vision for Fit Body Bootcamp, which is to affect 20% of the world's population with health and fitness. The way we do that is if Mrs. Jones loses weight and learns how to eat a proper diet and no longer binges and purges, she might go home and cook better for the family. People, how many Fit Body Bootcamp locations do you want, Bedros? I don't know. Could be 1,000, could be 40,000. I don't care about that number. All I care is getting closer to our 2020 vision. Because if we are getting closer to our 2020 vision of helping 20% of the population on this planet, that means by virtue of that, we have more Fit Body Bootcamp locations, right? Now, do we have metrics that we go by? Absolutely. We need 20 new Fit Body Bootcamp locations to come on board so that we can hit our 2020 goal. But we start off by reverse engineering what we want most, and it's never the money. Now, money's good. It solves a lot of problems. I have many cars. I have houses. I love the life that I live. However, it's just a vehicle to freedom. That's it. And the way I become free, that you become free, is by adding value to society. So what we do, this is going to relate more to you with our locations individually, is we run an ad on Facebook where we target it to our local community. Ontario Fit Body Bootcamp. We look for women 28 to 58 in Ontario. And all we put in front of them, like Peter said, they don't want to be sold on Facebook. They just want free shit. Give people what they want. Free 28 recipes that are gluten-free, healthy, dairy-free, that taste amazing. We exchange an email address for 28 recipes. That's it. Exchange an email address for a free report on how to get flat abs. Exchange an email address on the top 3 exercises to do to burn more fat. Once we get them on our email list for our local Fit Body Bootcamp, then we start delivering more content. We build a know, like, and trust factor within 7 days by delivering content via email. Then we invite them in to come try us out by either going to our website and buying our web special, 4 workouts for $29. If they don't bite on that, 7 days later, you go, you know what, forget paying the $29. Come try us out for free. Now, free may not work for you. I'm giving you my funnel. We know what works for us. Because as long as we attracted that right person into the funnel, they may have not been willing to pay the $29 simply because the trust factor is there. They wouldn't even part with $1. But they might do free, and then we'll know right away within those 4 workouts whether we should even set up a closing session with them or just put them through the free workouts and be done with it. Now remember, we run it in a group, so whether we have 26 people in the group today or 28, it doesn't matter to us, right? So we can do that. Might be a different funnel for you, but Peter can help construct that for you. But that's the model. Does that make sense to you? That's the system we use. By the way, we just spend $10 a day. Our individual locations, my own Ontario Fit Body Bootcamp, and I could spend as much as I want. We just spend $10 a day, get about 15 leads, sometimes 20 leads, into our email list, right? Then we love them up, get them to know, like, and trust, make them an offer. Low barrier offer, get them into the program. Get them into the program, the referral generation system kicks in. The upsells and cross-sell systems kick in. Everything is via scripts. We have phone scripts, email scripts, marketing scripts. System, system, system. That's what works. Now, since I've got 6 minutes, I'm going to tell you a fun little story that you might be able to resonate with. In 2010, now if you look at me and all my schveltness, you can tell that I am designed by the good Lord to lift weights and put them back down. That's what I do best. I can deadlift like nobody's business. I can squat like nobody's business. My bench is mediocre. But when I was powerlifting, and in powerlifting you use those 3 lifts, bench, squat, and deadlift, I always made up my total points through the squat and deadlift because I was a horrible bencher. So I'm designed to lift weights, not run. My wife, on the other hand, married me because I told her that I'd run a marathon with her. 10 years went by and I kept putting off marathons. She's a marathon runner. She runs 3 or 4 a year. Finally, one day, I said, hey, when's your next marathon? She goes, actually, it's in 6 weeks, because she kept nagging me. She goes, in 6 weeks. I go, damn it. All right, I'm doing it with you. Register me. So I registered for the San Diego Marathon. I trained for 6 weeks. There's 2 lessons in this. One, you can do anything you want. If I can go from never running in my whole life to doing this in only 6 weeks, you can do the same. And so I trained for 6 weeks and ran this marathon. Now here is where the last 5 miles of this marathon comes in handy. And you, my friends, are in the last 5 miles by being in this room, in your industry. And let me explain. If you've never run a marathon, you won't understand this. Because if you're just rooting for your friends from the finish line, you don't see the last 5 miles. But if you've run a marathon, at least a San Diego one, you'll see that there's 3 things that are lined up in the last 5 miles. Imagine there's thousands of people running. There's 26,000 people running. The last 5 miles, there's taxis, ambulances, and shuttles. Super shuttles. And it says $8 for a ride to $8 for a ride to hotel, finish line, restaurant of choice. Right? So once I see it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm in pain. Remember, I've only trained for 6 weeks. I'm in severe pain. My knees hurt. Having big traps is great. You look great in a t-shirt. I can deadlift a lot of weight. Having big traps and running, my neck was cramped, right? I'm not functional for running. Quads are cramping, so we got the little timer going, my wife and I, and the timer's going. And so it beeps, and you're supposed to fast walk, and then it beeps again, and you're supposed to start running. And then if you do that right, you're going to meet like 4 hours and 14 minutes, which was the time I was going for. And the only problem was every time I'd go into the walk part of it, things would start cramping. So I would just try and run as much as I can, right? I would literally start cramping up. And so I see all these people like gazelles running by me. I'm like, motherfucker, right? Excuse my language. I'm a little bit unrefined. So long story short, the last 5 miles, I see people looking, but no one's doing anything. 4 miles to the finish line. I see a few people veering off. And in my head, I'm like, no, don't do it, don't do it. We're like there. We just ran like 21 miles. We're almost there. 3 miles to the finish line. More people are going that way. I see a guy on the side who's just like, his leg is literally out of control. It's spasms, contractions, God knows what. And his friend's like trying to hold him up. And he's like, hey, buddy, should we go to the ambulance or the super shuttle? I'm just thinking, drag that fucking leg along and let's just go to the finish line. Like, who cares? Whatever damage you've done, you've done. It's done. I probably had hairline fractures for a couple years afterwards, right? Just drag that damn thing along because the 21 miles you just ran means nothing if you don't finish that race. But people were just giving up, and in my head I was screaming at them like, no, don't do it. I had no physical ability to scream. By the way, my wife, she meant well. I should start off by saying that. She actually did not run for the 6 weeks while I was training so she can decondition herself so she could keep up my pace. So she's actually running backwards. Come on, champ, you could do it. This is fantastic. Stop doing that. Like, it hurts. Like, either act like it hurts or just go run, finish your race. I'll meet you at the finish line. Like, I just kept telling her that. Don't run backwards and make it look easy because this is very painful right now, right? But what I found, guys, was the last 2 miles, something started to happen with me. The negative self-talk set in. You know what, dude? You'll never give up and go to the shuttle or the taxi. But just throw yourself, scrape yourself up, and limp over to the ambulance, and you're done. The pain stops there. I'm talking to myself in my head. And the other side of me is like, no, you loser, don't do it. Keep going. I'm like, yeah, but there's the next ambulance right there. You could do it right now, right here. People would even help you out. There's people on the sidelines giving away water and that little goop that you put in your mouth, which tastes like shit, right? I love to eat, and that is not an edible product. But like, they'll just carry me along to the ambulance. Like, he tried so hard. He went 24 miles. Look at him, what a stud. He's not even designed to run. Look at him, right? Somehow, some way, miraculously, I was able to cross that finish line, and I'm so thankful I did because I later found out that I did something that less than 1% of the world's population has done. And I'm not designed for that. I just made a promise to my wife, and 10 years later, I finally felt I should fulfill that promise. The point of this is that you're in the last 5 miles. You started off wherever you started off in business to get your certifications, your credentials, your degrees. You've worked for others. You now work for yourself. You have up and down months. When you're with the family, you think about the business. When you're within the business, you feel the guilt of the family. I know that. I was there. This is the last 5 miles that you're in, guys. If you walk out of that door today and take no action on the stuff you've learned, it is the equivalent of you walking to the ambulance, to the super shuttle, to the cab without crossing that finish line. If you take action on the stuff we're giving you today, we're not holding anything back. If you commit to working with Peter for the next 12 months, and crossing that finish line. The other side of that is just an amazing life with no stress. Well, I lie. There'll be stress. It'll be the stress of growth, which is still a problem. He'll call me, and my other coaching clients call me. The stress of growth is equally as painful, but I'll take the stress of growth versus the stress of not being able to pay my bills, the stress of guilt, and the stress of family, right? As an entrepreneur, we're all islands. All your friends have a job. They clock in and clock out. You think you're going to be able to talk to them and tell them, gosh, guess what, man? I actually ran this promotion that Peter gave me, and I actually made $14,000 this weekend. What did you do? Your friends are going to be like, get the fuck out of here, right? We don't want to talk to you. We are islands as entrepreneurs. We're islands. And so if we're not around each other like this, we feel alone. We've got no one to connect with. And so you're in the last 5 miles. I hope that I was able to help you out here with the information I gave. If you have any questions, you can find me back there or just wandering around the hallways drinking iced coffee. Thank you so much, guys.